Welcome to my Dusty Woodshop. Today we're going to talk about knotting and knot tying and ropes. Sounds kind of boring, except when I tell you that you get to cut some things and burn some things. Not so boring now, is it? So the first thing you're going to need is a piece of cord. We're going to learn about whipping and fusing, and we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, there are lots of different types of cords out there. There's rope like this that's used for climbing. There's some others that are just smaller out there that you can use for tying things down. There's even like clothesline out there. Don't go cutting any down to use it for this video. You can use, this is actually shoelaces, actually bootlaces here. I made a woggle out of this. And you know, you could get this out of somebody's boots or tennis shoes. If they're not watching, you could. But they need to be here because you're going to be cutting things and burning things. So find something that you can do a little bit of tying that your mom doesn't or dad doesn't mind it being mutilated a little bit. So we're going to talk about whipping and fusing. The first thing, fusing. The reason you need to do this, fusing and whipping, is because you can get, let me get this up close so you can see it. You get ropes that get these fuzzies on the end of it. And if you leave them alone, they get worse and worse and worse. Like this one's worse than this one, and it'll continue to get bad. So we want to stop this from happening because it damages the rope long term. So there's a couple ways. With modern ropes, this is pretty straightforward. You need to be able to cut off the excess fuzzies on it. So I have a knife, and you need your whittling chip for this. So I have this, and I have something to cut it on. I use a piece of scrap block wood that I have sitting around here, and I cut off most of the fuzzies. Not always required, but it's a good idea. So I cut them off. All right. And then I get my fire source. And this one I got off the grill. So you're not going to put this in the flame. There he goes, it went out. You're not going to put this in the flame. You're going to move it close to the flame, and you're going to watch it very closely because modern ropes are made out of, most of them are made from stuff that will melt and not burn. Or can burn, but you don't want them to burn. You just want to melt them a little bit. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to move this closer together, and you're just going to get them close enough to where they're going to start to melt together a little bit. And it might even get a little bit of char on them, kind of moving it around. Just keep doing it. And pretty soon, if I don't blow it out, it's all fused together. Be careful, this is hot. And it's not going to fray anymore after that. And if it's not completely fused at that point, do a little bit more. I like pushing them together so I get a little bit of a point. It just makes it easier to use in other knot tying. So now we're going to talk about whipping. And this is not the type of your mom or daddy or somebody else might have done to you. This is about stopping this from fraying. So we're going to get a piece of thin cord, and I am going to use a synthetic material here. Cut it off a little bit. Don't need a whole lot. Dental floss works really well on this. Except you have to wrap a lot of it. But typically, you build it and you put in a loop on the end of it. And you take that loop and you put it on the end of the rope out to the edge of the fuzzies. That's the way I do it, at least. And then you need to wrap it about 1.5 times the width of the rope, the diameter of the rope. And you just start turning it. And it's real easy. It'll show up. You just take time. Don't go in a hurry. Make sure everything stays where it is. So you got this loop and you're going around. You get to the end of the rope. And then you're going to take the end you're running and you're going to push it back through this loop. Like that. Now, that's not going to stay, so we got to tighten it up. But we're going to grab this tail that's down here on the other end and we're going to start to pull it. And this might get a little tough as you start to pull. And you're going to pull the rope up under itself down on the inside. You're not going to pull it all the way through, just to the middle. So you're going to pull it down. And now what we have is a rope that's been whipped and is not coming apart. So now we're going to cut off the excess ends like this. That fixes that. This is not going to get worse now. Now we're going to cut off the fuzzies here. Now, this is the only way to stop a traditional rope made of plant fibers from fraying or coming undone from getting the fuzzies, and it'll look something like this. For synthetic ropes, modern ropes, I don't do this much, but if you need to know how to do it, this is how. So I hope you have an amazing day, and we'll be back here soon with a couple more knot lessons. See you then. Bye.